JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, George Wright resigns from the JLP. George Wright, the Member of Parliament for Westmoreland Central, has resigned from the Jamaica Labour Party, JLP. According to a statement from the JLP today, Wright submitted his letter of resignation to General Secretary Dr. Horace Chang, terminating his membership in the party. The party said his resignation was accepted, noting his stated intention to address matters in the public domain and his continued belief in the policies and programs of the government and the party. Wright came under public pressure to resign after a man, believed to be him, was captured on a video which went viral, showing him hitting a woman with whom he was in a fight with his hands and a stool. The matter was reported to the police. However, the case was soon dropped after both Wright and the woman in the video refused to cooperate with the investigators. Wright was later prohibited from sitting on the government benches in the House of Representatives at Gordon House. Man killed in drive-by shooting in St. James. A 31-year-old man was fatally shot in a drive-by attack in Hendon, St. James on Wednesday. He has been identified as Andre Simpson, a resident of Cornwall Courts in Montego Bay, St. James. Investigators report that Simpson and other persons were standing on Glendevon Road when two vehicles, with several men aboard, drove up. The men began firing at the individuals who ran. Simpson was shot and pronounced dead at hospital. Police probing murder in Kingston Central. The Kingston Central Police are probing another murder. The latest victim is 23-year-old Shadeen Richards of Fleet Street. About 10 o'clock Wednesday night, residents heard gunfire and called the police. Richards was later found suffering from bullet wounds. He was pronounced dead at hospital. Several persons have been killed in recent weeks in the ongoing gang violence in sections of the Kingston Central Police Division. St. James Carpenter on gun and armor charges. 32-year-old Howard Simon, a carpenter of Mount Salem, St. James, has been charged with illegal possession of firearm and ammunition in connection with the seizure of a handgun in his community yesterday. The police said officers were on duty when they reportedly observed a man attempting to flee when he saw them about 8 p.m. Simon was then accosted, searched, and a .38 revolver, 4.38 rounds, and one 9mm round of ammunition were found on him, the police said. He was arrested and charged after an interview. Family of missing taxi operator offering $200,000 reward. The family of missing taxi operator, Philip Palmer, is offering a reward of $200,000 for any information leading to his return. 45-year-old Palmer, also called Grabber, who is from Olympic Way, St. Andrew address, was last seen at home on Tuesday, May 18. He reportedly operated along the halfway tree to Papine and downtown to Duane Park routes in the corporate area. Last week, Palmer's mother, who fears that the worst may have happened to her son, pleaded for information that could solve the mystery. She has since renewed her call, adding a reward for anyone with substantive leads. I have problem eating and sleeping. I have lost weight. Every time the phone rings, I jump up. Sometimes I hear his voice calling me, say, "Mommy," and I want to tell my daughter that him just call me, she lamented. Sometimes I feel he's dead, and at other times a part of me believes he's out there still. I just feel confused. I put things on and I can't remember where. I have to sit down and think. I feel like I'm going crazy. I don't want to be a mad person in the street. It's getting to my head, she said, as she echoed her appeal for help to locate her son. Do you have any information? Please call the Olympic Gardens Police at 876-923-5468, 119, or the nearest police station. St. Elizabeth man charged with murder and illegal possession of firearm. A man who allegedly used a machete to inflict several chop wounds on another, causing his death in St. Elizabeth on Sunday, May 30, has been arrested and charged with murder, illegal possession of firearm, and 2 counts of assault at common law. He is 48-year-old Everald Miller, a laborer of Windsor District, Shiloh, in the parish. The deceased has been identified as 30-year-old Steve Daly, otherwise called Bubba, a laborer of the same community. The police said Miller and Daly had an argument about 12:10 p.m. when Miller allegedly used the machete to inflict several chop wounds to Daly's face. Daly was taken to the hospital where he died whilst being treated, the police said. Miller was later arrested in the community. However, the police said while attempting to stop him, Miller pointed a firearm at them and tried to escape. He was, however, caught and charged. Over $1.8 billion worth of cocaine seized so far this year. The Narcotics Division has seized over $1.8 billion worth of cocaine and more than $17 million worth of ganja in operations targeting drug trafficking activities across the island since the start of the year. We will not relent in our efforts to rid the nation of illicit drugs, head of the Narcotics Division, Superintendent Jervis Moore, declared. The police said more than 100 people, including 6 foreign nationals, have been arrested since 2021 for involvement in these illicit activities. According to the police's Corporate Communications Unit, CCU, approximately 14,678 kilograms of ganja with an estimated street value of $17,613,669 and over 248,948 kilograms of cocaine worth $1,846,245,668 have been seized. It said in the latest operation on Saturday, May 29 in Robbins Bay, Portland, the Jamaica Defense Force, JDF Coast Guard, seized a 30-foot boat and over 600 pounds of compressed ganja following an operation at sea. The estimated street value of the drug is over $3 million. The CCU said 183 cases have been brought before the court by investigators from the Narcotics Division since the start of the year, 56 of which have so far been disposed of by the courts. Of the 56 cases disposed of, convictions have been secured in 53 cases, the CCU said, noting that this indicates a 94% conviction rate for the Narcotics Division for 2021 so far. The division is committed to its mandate and will be relentless in effectively identifying, monitoring, investigating, and bringing drug traffickers before the courts with cogent evidence aimed at ensuring successful convictions and forfeiture of tainted assets, Superintendent Moore said. Since the start of COVID-19, the police said there has been an emerging trend with the utilization of courier services to facilitate the movement of drugs in smaller quantities. The Narcotics Division said it has been making significant impact to rid the trend and has embarked on special initiatives to aggressively target and arrest individuals involved in utilizing the courier services for the purpose of smuggling drugs. 62 people have been arrested for offenses related to trafficking drugs via courier services so far, the division said. The police also noted that the Narcotics Division has also seized 6 guns, 42 rounds of ammunition, 10 motor vehicles, and 5 boats in drug-related operations. Meanwhile, the police reminded the public that although the 2015 amendment to the Dangerous Drugs Act makes provisions for the smoking and using of ganja for religious purposes, it is still an offense to have more than 2 ounces of ganja in your possession. It added that offenders can be arrested, charged, tried in court, and if found guilty, sentenced to a fine or to imprisonment or both. Robinson again calls for help for vulnerable Jamaicans as food prices rise. Opposition spokesman on finance, Julian Robinson, is renewing and repeating his call for the government to urgently implement targeted measures to assist the most vulnerable Jamaicans as food prices continue to increase beyond their capacity to manage. Robinson, in a statement today, noted that several factors have contributed to an unprecedented increase in the prices of basic food items. In addition to the escalating food or import bill, which is passed on to consumers, the increases in gasoline and electricity costs have also impacted prices on the shelves, he added. Also, when there is a depreciation in the currency, there is an immediate increase in prices, but there is never a rollback of prices if the currency appreciates, Robinson said. The unending increases have pushed many Jamaicans who were on the fringes of the poverty line into a place where they cannot afford the essential items in the basic food basket. The government must act now to assist those who have no other means of support. The opposition spokesman first made the call for more assistance for the vulnerable in his budget debate presentation in March. He noted that since then, the issues are more pressing and critical as food poverty becomes more prevalent. In normal times, these increases would be a major burden for consumers, but we are in unusual times where many persons have lost jobs and their capacity to earn due to COVID-19, so it is more important for the assistance to be provided, Robinson said. 9 additional COVID deaths, 88 new cases. The island registered 88 new COVID-19 cases yesterday and 9 additional deaths, according to the latest statistics from the Ministry of Health and Wellness. The new infections, 48 women and 39 men, with ages ranging from 1 year to 98 years, pushed Jamaica's pandemic total to 48,821 cases, including 960 deaths. St. Catherine had 20 of the cases, followed by Kingston and St. Andrew with 19, St. Anne with 16, and St. James with 10. There were 9 cases in Manchester, 5 in St. Elizabeth, 4 in Clarendon, and 2 each in Trelawney and Westmoreland. Hanover, Portland, and St. Thomas had no new cases. The deaths are as follows. A 79-year-old male from St. James, whose death was previously under investigation. A 71-year-old male from St. James, whose death was previously under investigation. A 73-year-old female from St. James, whose death was previously under investigation. A 95-year-old female from St. James, whose death was previously under investigation. A 78-year-old male from St. Anne, whose death was previously under investigation. An 84-year-old male from Manchester. An 81-year-old female from St. Elizabeth. A 94-year-old male from Westmoreland, and a 37-year-old female from Portland. The Health Ministry also reported 1 coincidental death and 4 deaths under investigation. Meanwhile, the country currently has 21,537 after 143 more people recovered from the virus, pushing total recoveries to 25,945. There are also 149 people hospitalized with the virus, 11 of which are critically ill and 33 moderately ill. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember, subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.